Part 1: The Whispering Cemetery. In the dimming light of dusk, Geoffrey Stone arrived at the edge of the moonlit Everglades Cemetery. The air, heavy with the scent of ancient moss and lingering decay, seemed to whisper secrets of the past. With a determined step, he ventured into the realm of the departed. A week ago, an enigmatic letter had found its way to him, sealed with a raven's crest in black wax. The message within, penned in a hand from another era, summoned him to this very place, promising revelations about his sister Lily's mysterious vanishing. It spoke of a lady in white, a spectral guardian of truths long buried. The cemetery, under the crescent moon's watchful eye, revealed its spectral beauty. Once a scholar of anthropology, now a seeker of the paranormal, Geoffrey felt the pull of the unknown. The letter had mentioned a pendant, a family heirloom that Lily had treasured, and its detailed description in the letter was unmistakable. As he navigated the maze of tombstones, the whispers grew more insistent, guiding him deeper into the cemetery's heart. His equipment, usually sensitive to the slightest disturbances, remained eerily silent, as if the voices were meant for his ears alone. The chill of the night wrapped around him, and a ghostly mist rose from the earth, transforming the cemetery into a landscape of shadows and silhouettes. Once confident in his path, now he found himself disoriented, the whispers his only guide. It was then that she appeared, the lady in white. Her form, a beacon in the darkness, beckoned him with a silent promise of answers. With each step toward her, the whispers receded, leaving only the sound of his own breath and the beating of his heart. "Lily, is that you?" he asked, though he knew no living answer would come. The figure, ethereal and still, pointed not with words but with a gesture that pierced the veil of uncertainty, toward the ancient crypt where the pendant lay upon the altar, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight filtering through the stained glass window. Guided by the ethereal presence of the lady in white, his steps led him to the entrance of the ancient crypt. The air grew colder as he crossed the threshold, the darkness within seeming to swallow the light from outside. His hand reached for the flashlight at his belt, the beam cutting through the gloom to reveal the interior. The crypt was a chamber of echoes, every sound magnified by the silence that hung heavy in the air. In the center, upon the stone altar, lay the pendant. It was just as the letter had described, its intricate design catching the light, casting shadows that danced across the walls. His heart pounded in his chest as he approached the altar. The whispers had ceased, leaving a suffocating stillness. He extended his hand, his fingers brushing against the cool metal of the pendant. The moment he touched it, a shiver ran down his spine, and the crypt seemed to come alive. Whispers erupted from the shadows, a cacophony of voices that filled the chamber with their urgency. The ground beneath him trembled, and the walls flickered with ghostly images, scenes of the past, faces of those long gone, their eyes pleading, their mouths whispering secrets that were lost to time. He clutched the pendant tightly, its surface now warm to the touch, as if it held the life force of all who rested here. The air crackled with energy, and for a moment he thought he saw a figure reflected in the pendant's polished surface, a figure that bore a striking resemblance to Lily. As quickly as it had begun, the disturbance ceased. The crypt returned to its silent vigil, the shadows still once more. With the pendant now secured around his neck, he knew that this was no ordinary token. It was a key, a catalyst that had awakened the spirits of the crypt, and perhaps it would unlock the path to finding Lily. With a deep breath to steady his nerves, he turned on his heel and made his way out of the crypt, the voice recorder in his hand a testament to the chilling encounter. The lady in white was gone, but her silent message had been received. The sunken garden awaited, and with it, the next piece of the puzzle. Part 2: The Sunken Garden's Secret. After the harrowing encounter in the crypt, Jeffrey's resolve was shaken but not shattered. The pendant around his neck, once a symbol of hope, now felt like a harbinger of darker things to come. With each step towards the sunken garden, the air grew colder, and the shadows seemed to whisper amongst themselves. The garden was a hidden oasis within the cemetery, its beauty both mesmerizing and melancholic. The pool at its center, still and mirror-like, reflected the night sky, a canvas of stars marred only by the crescent moon's glow. He approached, drawn by an inexplicable force, the pendant pulsing as if in response to an unseen heartbeat. He knelt by the water's edge, peering into its depths. The surface was calm, but beneath, there was a sense of turmoil, of spirits caught in the throes of emotions long since past. He reached out, his fingers grazing the cool water, and the moment they made contact, the serenity of the garden was shattered. A chill wind erupted, sending ripples across the pool, distorting the moon's reflection into a grotesque shape. The weeping willows swayed violently, their mournful cries joining the sudden cacophony of whispers that rose around him. The pendant blazed with an ethereal light, and his heart raced with fear. From the disturbed waters, a shadow began to form, coalescing into a figure that was both familiar and utterly foreign. It was Lily, or at least, a specter of what she once was, her features twisted in anguish, her eyes empty voids that seemed to stare into his very soul. "Lily?" His voice was barely a whisper, drowned out by the growing tempest around him. The apparition moved closer, its form wavering with each ripple of the pool. "The gateway is open," it spoke, its voice a hollow echo of Lily's. "They cannot be contained." Panic set in as he realized the gravity of the situation. The gateway, whatever it was, had been disturbed, and now something had been unleashed, something that should have remained hidden in the depths of the afterlife. The figure reached out, its hand inches from his face, and he could see the torment of countless souls reflected in its palm. With a final surge of adrenaline, he recoiled, scrambling to his feet. The pendant seared against his skin, a burning reminder of the nightmare unfolding before him. He ran, the whispers chasing him like vengeful spirits, the cries of the willows a haunting refrain to his flight. As he burst through the garden's gate, the last thing he saw was the pool, now a whirlpool of darkness, as if it were consuming the very earth around it. Jeffrey didn't stop running until the sunken garden was nothing but a memory, its secrets sealed behind him. But the terror of that night lingered, and the mystery of Lily's disappearance was now intertwined with a new horror, one that he knew he could not ignore. The story was far from over, and the true scare had only just begun. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for part 3 and beyond.